Morning, fish keepers. Cam here from the fish room.co.nz. How are we today? I hope we've all made it through this short week, a very glorious short week, and of course we're following into another glorious short week next week. Congratulations to you lucky sods that decided to take a few Andrew days off in between and have managed to get like a million days off and only have to use a few annual days. That is fantastic. Everybody loves a decent holiday, particularly when you're not using up your annual leave. It's obviously Friday. Let's do coffee. That is a good coffee today. Right, not a heck of a lot in the book today, but we've got a little bit. So as per normal, if anybody has any questions, please fire away, ask them in the comments, and we will try and answer them. It just means that we can obviously talk a little bit longer and have some more stuff going through and get some questions answered and whatnot. So first of all, as per normal, talk about the shop hours. We are Monday to Friday, 11 till 4:30. We are closed on the weekends and we are closed on public holidays. That means that this Monday coming up is obviously a public holiday, so we are closed. We'll be closed for the entire day, not just until 1 o'clock. So Monday we are closed because it's a public holiday. Being that it's a public holiday, that also means that plant orders are going to be delayed a day, just like they were this week. So I'll still do my order like I normally would on the Monday morning, but they won't be packed and sent until Tuesday, which means they won't arrive to me Wednesday, which means I'll pack them on Wednesday. They should be with you on Thursday, as opposed to arriving Tuesday, packed on Tuesday, being sent in with you on Wednesday. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is when public holidays happen. It's just how it has to be dealt with. If anything, it makes for a more frantic time for me having to pack, knowing there's a little bit extra pressure on. But yeah, like I said, that is what it is, and we just have to deal with it that way. Of course, good morning, Cameron. How are you, buddy? Oh, shucks. That's charming. So again, public holiday Monday, we'll still be doing our Monday walkthrough. I'll still be here, like I said, doing orders. So I'll do our walkthrough at 10 o'clock in the morning like we normally would. I'll show everybody what's going on, the new stuff, the new fish, and all that kind of stuff. So please still join us for that on Monday. There has definitely been some shipping delays happening at the moment as well. I'm noticing them more coming in as opposed to going out. What used to be about a 2 or sometimes 3 day turnaround for me is becoming sort of 7 to 14 day turnaround, which has become a real pain in the butt. So there's a lot of items that have been ordered, been sent on the way, not here, that kind of stuff. Prime example was the regulators, which we got on earlier in the week. They were sent in there in transit for quite a long time. So just one of those things at the moment. Public holidays isn't helping the courier system. It's slowing everything down as well, but it is what it is. So yeah. On our end, sending stuff out, I haven't really noticed too much. There's the odd thing that's meant to be there overnight, but it's taking an extra day. Doesn't look like there's been too many issues with fish going out. We have one issue with some frozen food getting stuck in transit for an extra day, which obviously means it arrived defrosted. But generally speaking, so far stuff going out has been pretty good for us at this point. Touch wood that we can continue on with that. So a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the possibility. Happy Friday, John. I hope you're good, mate. Hope that COVID's coming along nicely for you. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about potentially having 2 guests on with us on the Friday morning coffee date. John is obviously the guy that I work with who does the social media side of it with us, and he's the one that joins us when we have guests on. We have decided that we think we can handle 2 guests a month. So we'll do one on the last Friday of the month, and we'll do one in the middle of the month as well. So fingers crossed that we can continue to generate enough guests to bring them on to talk to everybody. We're fairly confident we can do that, both international guests, local guests, industry people, people that are working in pet shops, import facilities, manufacturers, all that kind of stuff, as well as hobbyists and like breeders and all that kind of stuff. So we've got a decent broad spectrum of what we're kind of open to talking to and the people that we're contacting to talk to. And hopefully it gets a bit of insight for everybody, and it's nice and entertaining, and we can all get different information and different avenues of the industry and the hobby for everybody. So that's the kind of plan for that. So we're fairly confident we can do that. So fingers crossed we can make good on what I've just said. And on that note, next week's guest, we have Sam Scales coming to join us. So I'm going to put a wee link into the comment section to his Facebook page. If it works, fingers crossed, there we go. So Sam has been a hobbyist for 30 odd years. He's really into his biotope aquariums. He's a very nice and very down-to-earth friendly guy. But what he is most commonly known for is his artwork. He does a lot of paintings and drawings to do with aquariums and aquatic fish and all that kind of stuff. He's got some absolutely gorgeous work, absolutely phenomenal. I'm more than excited to be having him on our show next week. I'm really looking forward to talking to him. So I've just dropped his Facebook page in there. Go check it out. You'll be blown away with how amazing some of his work is. It's mind-blowingly good, and I'm very much looking forward to speaking to him next week. You can also buy some of the stuff off Etsy, I think. And it's Etsy off the top of my head, which I believe sends internationally as well. So if you like some of his work, you can, after we talk to him, you can get amongst them from that as well. So this week, we've had our plants come in. Some of the most outstanding plants that have come in are the baby tears and the cardamine pots. So normally potted plants are sort of 5 or 6 stems, about, yay big sort of thing, sometimes bigger. The baby tears are about this big. They're ginormous, and they're about 1 million stems deep. So they're fantastic flying, and the cardamine is pretty much the same. To be fair, I think the cardamine actually looks like it might have run away a little bit. And like if you buy a couple of pots of cardamine, you'll probably be able to fill a 400-litre tank by the look of it. Maybe not quite that big, but absolutely massive pots of the cardamine and the baby tears at the moment. So if you're looking for some good value buying, pots of them, well and truly best buy at the moment from what's coming. And if you sort of had a look on some of our unboxings this week, we got some new fish in, which is very exciting. So some of the highlights of that is the electric blue rams. These have been in the country for quite a long time. So it's really cool to have them, and they are looking phenomenal. All the fins look really good. There's no sunken bellies. They're looking really healthy, really vibrant. I'm more than happy with that. They came in Wednesday, and we've already begun eating. So I'm more than happy with those electric blue rams. They look stunning. So 4th of May, believe it or not, let the 4th be with you. The electric blue rams are ready to rock. Also had a lot of guppies come in. I think we've got 60 or 70 imported guppies that have come in of various colours and features and whatnot. They're all looking phenomenal as well. There's some absolutely stunning showcase guppies in that lot. So if you're a guppy fan, stick with us for a couple weeks' time. There'll be some phenomenal ones coming through. Again, one of my favourite fish at the moment, the green fire tetras. We've got some more of them. I really, really love them. I think they are cool. They've got a beautiful green colour, a little bit of red on them. Activity through the roof. They are great little fish. And to be honest, I'm actually struggling to keep them in stock. Once they be made available, they fly up pretty quickly. So I had actually considered taking a group of them home as well as a group of platies for my display tank. I haven't got around there just yet, but they are beautiful fish, and I think if you buy some of them, you'll really enjoy them and really appreciate them. We've got everyone's favourite cardinals that come back as well. Again, a couple of weeks' time, they're all looking nice and plump, nice and healthy. They're all eating really well. So hopefully they just intensify in their colours. So when you get them a nice, bright, colourful, in a couple more weeks of growing on them, it should be stunning little fish. And Cochubu Tetras, which I've never had before. I've never kept them and I've never had them in the shop. I've always thought how stunning that the blue colour is on them, and it's not disappointing me. They're looking really good straight away. They do have a tendency to enjoy the siphon vacuum. I've done a water change on them this morning. They were really keen to get up that pipe. But they are looking really, really nice. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them under some light. Obviously at the back there's no lights out there, so I'm just kind of working on roof lights. But I'm really looking forward to seeing them under some actual aquarium lights and seeing how stunning that blue is, because they're looking really good just sitting in the water basically. So I'm hoping that they look phenomenal when they get some light over top of them. As I said earlier today, we got our CO2 regulators in. There's a New Zealand designed company, New Zealand designed regulators. It's a New Zealand company that is providing them, which is fantastic. So always good to keep our money locally. So we've got a couple of each of them available. We've already sold a few, send them around. So I'm going to be emailing for people waiting for some feedback in a couple of weeks' time. Next week, we'll have Sam's. We won't open one up. We might try and open one up the week after next. First accounts, the packaging is phenomenal. The product looks incredibly well made, incredibly well designed. So I'm pretty happy with that. So that means we've got pretty much everything available when it comes for CO2 other than CO2 bottles, which I'm beginning to work on the regulations for them as well, whether or not we're allowed to sell them or not. So if you're looking for CO2 equipment, we've got you absolutely covered, from everything but the bottle, regulators, diffusers, drop checker fluid, drop checkers, CO2 line, the whole lot. So if you want to take your planted tank to another level, CO2 is definitely how you're going to do that. I won't set up a decent planted or proper planted tank again without putting CO2 into it. It's like having a tank on nitrous oxide sort of thing. It just explodes your plant growth. So it's well and truly worth having a look into that and working through that. So last but not least today, we're going to have a wee look at the Sarah Plant Care set. So what do we have in here? So we've got a brochure to start with. That's always handy, probably an instruction manual and some more instructions as well. What we really want to know is what actually comes with it. So you get a CO2 diffuser. So this is for a basic CO2 system. When it comes to your CO2 tablets, so I'm not going to crack it open, but these are little tablets. You put the tablets into here. When it hits the water, it reacts with the water and it begins to dissolve. The dissolved tablet then produces CO2. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Also comes with some fertilizer, Sarah Florina. Florina. Again, just an all-round general fertilizer product. Good for your stem plants, anubiases, Java ferns, and whatnot, because they will draw from the water column, and that's what you're feeding into with that. You also get some Florinette, which is the root tab system. So 8, 16, 24 tablets. So these will be fantastic for Cryptocorynes, Echinodorus, and that sort of plant that love to absorb their nutrients from underneath in their root system. So far we're getting a decent all-round package. And some fish food. So it's Vipa Nature, so that is the crumble equivalent basically. So it's a decent set. You're getting a little bit of everything, and we've got some more instructions through here. So you're getting a little bit of everything that's going to help all your plants of various descriptions kind of grow and work. And let's have a quick look through what they say in here. It basically works out to be a full aquarium plant set, essentially, which is why they call it that. This brochure isn't going to be that much helpful. It's just selling more super products, so it's not so much to do with this. So you get a bit of everything from it. Like I said, you get fertilizer, you get CO2 tablets, and you get your undergravel fertilizer system. I don't think I want to push this on an aquarium too large. I don't think anything sort of over 120 litres, give or take, would be beneficial, I think. Anything over that, you're probably going to be pushing it, in particular with the CO2. Fertilizer is going to be fine because you just dose more into your aquarium to make that work. But for the CO2, I think it might just be pushing a little bit if you're going anything over sort of 120 litres or so. It says here 120 litres. It's in German, so I can't read it. But it says 90 to 120 litres is the maximum, basically. So in that kind of realm is where you'd want to be going with that. As a general rule of thumb, most of these, I'm going to call this a DIY CO2 system. It's clearly not. Most of these sort of basic DIY systems are only good for around about 100 to 150 litres. Like you take the ZIS CO2 unit, and it's only good for about 100 litres kind of thing. So when you get past that point, you're normally looking to go into a more pressurised system, which generally speaking is a far better unit. Costs a little bit more generally, but they give you far more performance. So so at $69.99, $69.99, I think these are actually really good value. So you give me a bit of everything. From the people that I have sold them to, they've generally been very, very happy with them. And I've had plenty of people come back and repeat buy the CO2 tablets, which tells me it's working for them. So yeah, there we go. The CO2, the Sierra plant care set. Nice and simple. Well, I'm going to go now. I'm actually halfway through my water changes for the week out back. So all the tanks are half empty and screaming out for some more water. So that'll be me. It doesn't sound like anybody else has got any more questions. So thank you everybody for joining us. Please go check out Sam's Facebook page and maybe his website if it's up and running. And if you've got any questions that you want to ask him, please feel free to send me a private message or an email, and I will add it to the list of questions that we're going to ask him. I'm very much looking forward to talking to him next week. I'm pretty excited about it. So yeah. All right, Tim, have a good one. Happy fish keeping. Catch you later. Thank you very much.